So I just finished breaking down Tom Noske's $369,000 per month funnel. And here's the thing that blew my mind. So most creators are out here trying to sell $47 courses thinking that they just need volume, right? Get 1,000 buyers, make $47,000. Sounds easy. Except Tom is doing the complete opposite and making 8 times more revenue with way less work. So here's the math that nobody talks about. To hit just $10,000 a month, at that $47 price point, you would need over 213 new buyers every singular month. That is not just hard, that is damn near impossible for most people. But Tom is pulling in over $369,000 every single month in his peak launch months by selling a high ticket at $6,000. And he only needs like 60 something sales to actually hit that specific number, right? Same traffic, completely different model, 8 times the revenue. And today I'm breaking down his entire funnel so you can see exactly how he does it. I'm talking organic content across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, his landing page, his VSLs, his exact VSL structure, his 3-tier product ascension using what I'm calling the Barnum effect, and how he's positioned himself as the anti-niche guy in a space where everyone else is screaming, just pick a niche. This is the exact breakdown of a funnel that is doing $1.5 million to $2 million a year that most people in the content creator education space are completely sleeping on. Let's break it down. Now let me get into his mindset. So Tom has a very, you become the niche. That is his main brand positioning. He doesn't want you to switch niches. He doesn't want you to niche down. He wants you to make yourself into the niche. Your unique brand becomes your niche. Then quality is your unfair advantage because there's so much slop out there. If you can have quality content, then you can actually differentiate yourself. And the most important part, 0 sales calls ever. He will never take sales calls because he wants freedom throughout life. And that's exactly what his audience resonates with, because these people are creators that are stuck in the content hamster wheel. So for example, they're creating content, following all those guru advices, but they're still not growing. Then people who want passive income without sales calls, and solo creators who are just trying to sell info products and trying to build that personal brand for it. Now, the exact funnel that he's using is called an ascension funnel. So an ascension funnel looks something like this, and I broke it down right here in this quick diagram. Ascension funnel is also called a value ladder, so you might have heard of this before if you've watched any of these videos before. So first of all, it starts off with something free. Then it goes into some kind of course or template or something like that goes anywhere between $10 to $100. Then it gets into a full course / community that could be, $400 to $1,000. Then of course, high ticket one-on-one coaching that could be anywhere between $2,000 to $10,000. And then finally the premium done for you, which Tom is actually charging like $60,000 for. As you can see, he just 10x'd exactly what his high ticket was, which is $6,000. So that's how an ascension funnel works. And an ascension funnel mostly relies on people going from free all the way up to paid. And in an ascension funnel, you always focus on the paid the most. Why? Because when you get one guy to pay you $10,000, it's 20 times easier to do that compared to getting 100 people to pay you $100. Way easier this way compared to this way, right? So you'll also see this throughout, once we break down his entire funnel, you'll see that Tom is always focusing on the premium stuff. That is his cash injection. And he does these cohorts every about 3 months, every quarter, he does one cohort. And he makes over $400,000, $500,000 every single time he launches one of those cohorts. And he basically uses the ascension funnel as a steady stream of income because he probably makes $10,000 to $30,000 from his low ticket, and then from his mid ticket he's making probably $100,000 a month just off of that. That's basically how Tom Noske's funnel is broken down. Now let's get into his TikTok. So on his TikTok, he has 89,000 followers, 28, creator and triathlete, Melbourne, Australia. That's his location. Obviously, that's just giving a little bit of information about himself to get people to relate to him that are specifically people who are in this area, right? You might, be like, okay, cool. This guy's from the same place I am from. That's cool. I like this guy right away. Next is creator and triathlete. Again, this is explaining more personal stuff about him, building his personal brand. He's not trying to sell you here. He's just trying to get you to know more about him. He's 28. He's a creator. He's a triathlete. Now, if you're somebody who's in your 20s, you're a creator and you might be into athletics, you will instantly be like, hey, this guy's like me, so I like him, right? This guy's kind of like me, so I like him. Instantly, that's what impression you have gotten from him. Now, for the actual content, for the actual CTA is join time to build. That is his cohort, and he pushes this about every 3 months. Right now, his cohort just closed. He's still pushing it, but that's just because he wants to build more scarcity. Later on, he's going to change this link into his course, which is going to give him steady income throughout the year, around $50,000 to $150,000 a month within my personal estimates. Now, for the actual content, he gets, obviously average views on TikTok. Every once in a while, a video will go up to 30,000, 50,000, whatever it might be, 17, 13. And then most videos will flop at around 3,000, 3,000, 4,000. Then, he has this pinned video, which is basically just an explainer video of his entire personal brand. And a pinned video, you can kind of go a lot of ways with a pinned video. And I personally like doing the KLT method with my clients, which is basically a method where you post 3 videos as your pinned videos, which is 1 video to get people to know you, 1 video to get people to like you, 1 video to get people to trust you that are genuinely engaging and get a lot of views. What Tom is doing here is what I like to call the 1 video method. And 1 video method is basically just you put up 1 video that is an entire amalgamation of your entire brand. And what that means is it's a video that explains your entire personal brand within a single 60 to 30 to 60 second video, basically. KLT method generally works way, way better. I like the 1 video strategy only on TikTok just because people have way lower attention spans on TikTok. And I would rather have people watch my content very quickly than having them watch 3 videos. It's way less likely. So I like doing the 1 video strategy on the TikTok, and then on the Instagram, as you can see, he has also employed a separate strategy, which I will break down as well. But I like doing the KLT strategy on the Instagram. Now, for the actual content that he's posting, he's making a lot of high production quality content, and some of these are podcast clips, while others are just raw and authentic videos with him talking to the camera. And you'll see even these raw and authentic videos, they have quite a bit of editing, right? And obviously these aren't the raw and authentic videos, but every once in a while he'll make a super raw and authentic video like this, without huge production quality. But most of his content has that super high production quality that his brand is praised for. Again, he used to literally work at Canon, Reebok, and these huge brands as a filmmaker. So he's really, really good at this. And that's his main thing. His quality is his advantage. That's why he has grown so fast. He has such quality content. Whenever you see a video like this, hey, this is Tom's video. Now, the main way he's actually using TikTok is the same way that a lot of people are using it. He's mostly testing videos on the TikTok and then reposting the successful ones onto the Instagram along with his existing Instagram only content. Now, he posts a bit less on the Instagram compared to the TikTok. Like on the TikTok, he's very, very active. That's how you're supposed to be with the TikTok on literally every specific platform, right? Instagram should be once a day. On TikTok, I'd highly recommend you do literally 3-4 times a day, just because it is going to get you more touch points. It's going to give you more chances for the algorithm to boost your videos. And so that's why you should always be doing that on the TikTok. Now, getting into the Instagram, Tom has 448,000 followers. Tom Noske, same exact profile photo, good stuff. Digital creator, helping creators turn passion into profit. Now, this one's a really overall bad bio. He has a really bad bio on this Instagram. And the reason is because I don't know what you mean by helping creators turn passion into profit, right? You can kind of skew it in a way. You can be like, oh, it's kind of descriptive, but I'm not going to do that, right? Because your prospects, they are not going to give you the time of day to read and think about exactly what your bio is. Do not try to write a poetic speech within your bio. Don't try to write some kind of haiku in your bio. All you need to do is you need to make your bio like 3rd grade English to 5th grade English, put it into ChatGPT. It's not rocket science. It will pump out something that means the same thing as what you were saying before, but it actually explains it a bit further and people can instantly understand at a glance what you're talking about. Now, $5.14 million in verifiable student wins. As you can see, that's a little bit of social proof. That's really good right there. So the reason you want to put social proof here is just because the moment somebody sees your brand, if they see the social proof, they will give you a little bit more of the time of day, because they'll be like, okay, I have handled my objection of, is this guy full of it? And I need to actually research more to make that judgment. If somebody sees your bio and you don't have any social proof, they're way more likely to judge you instantly by saying that, yo, you're full of it, instead of watching any of your content. So what you're trying to do here is you're trying to get them to give you the time of day. Now, next is founder of Time to Build HQ, more social proof because he has an actual brand behind him, and then a DM CTA because he has a DM funnel plus a landing page funnel, which is a strategy that a lot of people employ. Next is the story highlights, student wins. So this is just the only story highlight you really need. Tom should have more lifestyle stuff here, maybe, you know, not just crazy Rolexes and Lambos. That's not what I'm talking about, but lifestyle as in literally him going to a coffee shop, whatever it might be, something that shows off his daily life, builds a little bit of personalization. But Tom does that a lot in his content, so he might have not seen any need for it. But again, student wins is pretty self-explanatory, just student wins and the screenshots and video testimonials. Pin videos, lifestyle video right here, and then a video that explains exactly what his content style is. It's literally this. It's just a very good video that performed very well that he put up onto his pin videos that shows, hey, this is exactly what my lifestyle is. This is what my content style is. And again, this is very specifically chosen because this is getting people to like you right here. This is what he's trying to do. He's getting people to like him. I'm not sure why he did half-assed the KLT strategy. So he kind of half-assed the KLT strategy here, which is that people get to know him through this video, get to like him through this video, but then he does not have any video to build that trust, which I'm not sure why. Maybe he thinks that this will accomplish both, but it won't. Tom, you should probably add a new one. Now, for the actual content that he generally posts, it's kind of the same stuff as on his TikTok, except he has no raw and authentic videos here. Very rarely will he ever post one here. He will always have very high production quality videos, and you'll see he's getting higher average views here every single video. That's just because Instagram and TikTok have a very different algorithm, where TikTok, it is a very unforgiving algorithm, but a very highly rewarding algorithm. So if your video is good, it will go crazy good. It'll get really good views, go viral, much more viral than it could on Instagram. Whereas on Instagram, it'll just, you know, throw you a bone and give every single one of your videos that have consistent production quality, they will at least give them, you know, a base amount of views depending on how many followers you have, just because the more followers you have, the greater your base number of views will be. Now, next is his YouTube. Now, the YouTube is arguably one of the most important platforms on any singular funnel, and in my opinion, it is the most important. YouTube is the nurturing goat. It's the best platform for nurturing. So, as you can see, at Tom Noske, 52.4 thousand subscribers, 63 videos on creativity, business, and personal development. Next, the link is timetobuild.live, same exact link, and then I'm not subscribed. Trust me, I forgot to subscribe, but yeah. Anyways, back to the video. For the actual content that he's making here, it's just a lot of highly edited, super high production quality videos that he makes. Sometimes there's lifestyle integrated into these videos. Sometimes they're more raw and authentic than others. For example, this one. And then other times they're just super specific middle of funnel videos and top of funnel videos. For example, this one right here. These are top of funnel videos attracting new people. And then again, these are all more top of funnel videos. He's making 90% of his videos as top of funnel videos. And you'll see here why your digital product isn't selling. This is not a top of funnel video. This is more of a middle of funnel / bottom of funnel video. Same thing. This is more of a top of funnel. And then most of, like, probably this video is the most middle of funnel video on his channel. He has a very weird ratio of top of funnel to middle of funnel. He is, I think, trying to grow really fast on YouTube. So that's why he's going for the 90% top of funnel video share. I definitely support that. If you want to build a huge personal brand, you're going to need to do this, where you have to basically go all in on top of funnel. But for 90% of you guys who are actually trying to build a quality personal brand instead of just numbers on a screen, you should be posting literally 7 out of 10 videos should be bottom of funnel videos. Then 2 out of 10 should be middle of funnel, and maybe 1 out of 10, if you really want to get that growth, you can have top of funnel videos. I just generally support literally not having any top of funnel, just having middle of funnel and bottom of funnel. Next is the landing page. Now, this is what most of you guys have been waiting for. The main landing page, exactly how it looks and how he is converting so well with it. So, first of all, the title, as you can see, Student Wins Tracker. This is a little bit of social proof, and this is just a little bit of marketing copy. I'm not going to break down this stuff too much. Interesting thing here is that he has the next cohort November 10th, December 19th, limited to 80 spots. That's a little bit of urgency, more urgency, and then a quick button that is a sticky header to apply now. This urgency stays with you throughout the page. So this basically just makes sure that, hey, you are always on edge every single moment that you're on this page. Then there's the VSL. So the VSL, I'm not going to break down the VSL because I have entire videos that are breaking down specifically how to make a good VSL on my channel. I even have entire videos that I break down specific people's VSL, so you can watch that and find it on my channel. I've literally linked one right down below this video, I do believe, as well, unless I forget, in which case you're going to have to check it out. So basically, I'll just break down the gist of what a VSL would look like. It's the introduction, who the hell I am, which is not that long. It's like maybe this long. Okay, that's a bit too long too. But it's about this long right here. That's the introduction. Then it goes into, hey, what is your specific problem? And it goes into here. Once it breaks down your specific problem, then it tells you what the basically implications of staying where you are. And then after that, it'll tell you, hey, there's a solution and this is my product. And it'll introduce the actual product, the solution. Then we'll go into objection handling, whatever objections they might have. After that, at the end of it, you're going to remind them of the scarcity and the social proof that you have for a little bit. And then at the end, you're going to have the fat CTA at the bottom, final like 1 or 2 minutes, which is going to get people to actually convert. Now, that's the basic gist of exactly what a VSL looks like. But if you want a more in-depth guide, I've linked one down below. Or if I haven't, then you're going to have to check it out on my channel. So what exactly is time to build? This is explaining exactly what the program is, because the confused prospect does not buy. He's very good at explaining exactly what the program looks like, just because he knows, hey, the confused prospect will not buy, which means that if somebody doesn't know exactly what your program is, when it's going to happen, how much it is, everything like that, they're going to be 10 times, 5 times more likely to not buy. So you need to explain exactly what it is. Then after that, social proof. After that, again, it'll be just explaining what exactly you'll have. It's selling you the dream. It's selling you the exact dream. It's not telling you, it's selling you features for your logical brain, but now first it's trying to sell your emotional brain. So that's what it's trying to do in this first part. So he's trying to sell you emotionally. Then, because if you guys don't know, people basically first sell themselves emotionally. Then they justify that emotion with logic. That's how you basically buy every single product. So what you need to do here is that you need to be like, okay, I need to get these guys emotionally on board with what I'm talking about. And once they're done, then we're going to be able to go ahead and explain how the 6 weeks will come together and all of the specific nitty-gritty features within the 6 weeks or the program and everything like that. And now I'm going to actually go ahead and switch over to the browser for this. So here is the actual page. Let's get back to where we were. After this, there's going to be the actual curriculum explaining exactly what you're going to get. Again, logical brain. Now that they've sold you on the emotional part, now they're going to sell you on the logical part. What you get inside. More logical, more proprietary tools and templates, more features, which is going to, again, make your logical brain be like, okay, cool. I think this is kind of worth it. This program is perfect for, not perfect for. This is one thing that you have to include on every single landing page. Basically, it's dumb if you don't. It's really stupid if you don't. So this program is perfect for basically just filters for your specific buyers. This filters for the highest quality leads, increasing your lead quality. Along with that, it makes them feel special, increasing conversion rates. Along with that, it is actually going to allow people to understand more about themselves than they actually knew before, which is going to kind of make them self-sort themselves into this persona. So they'll be like, hey, I am this person. And once they've said that, you can use that. You can exploit that throughout the rest of the landing page and through the sales calls, because people don't like contradicting each other. So you can be like, oh, didn't you say, we're solo creators, right? Or we're skilled professionals. So once you say that, you can be like, okay, well, didn't you say XYZ on the landing page? You saw that, right? Didn't you say you were XYZ on the sales call? So you can basically take advantage of that fact that they have sorted themselves into these criteria, so you can speak specifically to them throughout the rest of the landing page, if that makes sense. If that didn't make sense, my bad, but that's kind of the best way I can explain it. Your investment, we limit each cohort to just 80 creators. Again, a little bit of urgency. This isn't a passive course you buy and forget about. More copy. Limited to 80 creators, and then the actual page, he just puts the price on the page. There's no sales calls, nothing like that. Total value, $21,000. This is a little bit of price anchoring, which basically means that he is telling you, hey, this is worth $21,000. So you're actually saving $16,000 or $15,000 instead of losing $6,000. Because again, people are more loss averse than gain centric. They're like, okay, they are way more scared of losing stuff than gaining stuff. So you just need to show them, hey, you're not losing anything, you're gaining a ton. And so you need to make it as obvious to them as physically possible how much they're actually gaining, so that they're more likely to buy. And he's basically value stacking here, saying, okay, this thing is worth this much, this thing is worth this much, and I'm giving it all to you in a bundle for this much, right? What happens when you build the right system? This is all just a ton of video testimonials, screenshots. Well, screenshots are after this, video testimonials. Then there's screenshots right here of these specific people. All this student wins tracker, $5 million. Again, more social proof. And I assume you can like check their, okay, no. You get their at, so you can Google it yourself, but it would be interesting if you could just click on the person and it would open up their Instagram. But anyways, there's more text testimonials with actual screenshots as well later. Our promise, this program is specifically designed to help you 5 to 10x your investment in the first 3 to 6 months. Again, he's selling to the confused prospect. The confused prospect does not buy. FAQs, again, answering objections before the call. Ready to build an impact, freedom, and profit. Option 1 and option 2 is building binaries, where he's saying either you do this specific thing that you hate doing, or you do this specific thing that you absolutely would love doing, and you have to pay me money to do the thing you really love doing. So it's kind of just giving them binaries where they have to choose two extremes that they really don't want to choose, but they kind of have to in their brain. They just instantly sort themselves into the specific option. Next is time to build a 6-week program that transforms creators from content machines to business owners. After that, it's just going to be the CTA at the bottom of the page. Bam, that is the entire landing page broken down into the nitty gritty. That's literally everything about it. So of course, that was Tom Noske's $369,000 a month funnel broken down into the nitty gritty. Hope you got a ton of value from that video. And if you are somebody who wants to implement something like this into your own specific program or your own funnel, then of course I'll leave a link down below for you. I only do work with people who have existing audiences. So if you're a coach, consultant, or an agency owner with an existing audience on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it might be, that actually has an engaged audience, you're getting views and stuff like that, and you want to implement something like this, you want to implement an info product into your own business, you have an info product and you want to scale it using this specific funnel or any other funnel that I've broken down before, or just a proprietary funnel that we can plan out for you. And you don't want to have the headache of dealing with it yourself. You don't have time to deal with it yourself. You don't have time to spend years learning these skills to actually just implement into your info business. And you kind of just want the shortcut to get all this done for you within, just a few months and start making 6 figures a month within the next year. Check out the link down below. I'll leave it again down below the video. You can check that out. You can book in a call with me or one of my team members, and we can go ahead and see whether or not you're a good fit. Either way, even if you're not, we'll guide you on the right direction. We'll point you in the right direction and send you off with a ton of value. If you don't want to do any of that and you just want to watch another one of my videos, go ahead and check this one out right here because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. If you want to watch the whole funnel breakdowns playlist, it's down below my face cam right here. If you want to leave a like and subscribe is down below right there in that inferior corner. And of course, like is down below the video. Hoping to see you in this next video.